Well, thanks for clicking on to Vogan's European Outlook. It is Friday the 8th of July. Yes, I've survived the dentist. It all went well, and I don't have to go back for another 6 months. So, that's another thing ticked off the list, so to speak. And the journey was pretty decent as well. The A9 was pretty kind to us. It wasn't overly busy. It was a fairly straightforward drive down and back up once again. But anyway, looking at the temperature profile across the UK today, we're starting to see the temperatures coming back up once again. So 29 Celsius currently as of recording at 4:05 in the afternoon. 28.5 at St James's Park. Central London 24.5 at Inverbervie on the Aberdeenshire coast. A little bit fresher once again across the Western Isles as Stornoway reports 13 Celsius, 20 degrees at Inverness, as you can see here. So how warm is it going to get over the next week or so? Of course, a lot of attention, a lot of hype has been drawn about the spell now that is now starting to develop. High pressure building over western portions of Europe, troughiness further east. And I've already alluded to the fact that is the significant shift, the eastward movement of the Mann-Julian Oscillation within the tropics, thousands of miles away, but yet that can have a huge impact on the weather here in the British Isles and across Europe as well. But looking at the GFS, it's interesting. In recent runs, the battle is such over the UK that, like I've said time and time again, heat trying to build north out of Africa towards the UK, but we've got trough and low pressure to the north, to the northwest, always trying to fight back that intense heat. And the intensity of the heat is significant at this point in time because we've got a very warm Mediterranean basin. We've got all other complicated factors at play as well. And I can discuss that another time with regards to like the longer term drivers, and even when you factor in things like climate and the sun and so on and so forth. But looking at the GFS, you can see here that this is through this evening. Notice this is the 8:50 temperatures, of course. Looking at cooler air to the north, warm air to the south. We've got a very, very almost flat, zonal setup at the moment, with the cold to the north and warm to the south. We don't have any kind of much of a deviation or meridional amplitude setup here going on. It's a very straight west to east cut off, if you notice. So as we play through the course of the weekend, you can see here that we've got some modestly warm air toppling in with an area of high pressure that's centered right over the UK as we go through this weekend. Notice here, moderate hot air across Iberia, across the south of France, if you will, as we go into the early portion of the new work week. That area of high pressure slides just to the east of the UK, and it opens the door to some of this warmth trying to lift north. So we've got some exceptionally warm temperatures at the mid-levels of the atmosphere, departing Morocco and Algeria and trying to move up into Iberia here. And when you start to see that area of low pressure, starting to, advance towards the northwestern half of the British Isles here, with high pressure to the east, low pressure to the northwest, that is that door, that channel, that opportunity for heat to come up into the British Isles. But notice here that we do, yes, get the 15 Celsius isotherm up into the Midlands of England, much of Wales, if you will. There's always that resistance. It's not pushing all the way up into Scotland, up into Northern Ireland. It's very, very interesting this summer to see the amount of resistance off the Atlantic. It's like the Atlantic doesn't want Scotland or Northern Ireland to get hot this year. That's what it looks like, it's just incredible to see this even the contrast, even the exceptional contrast of 25 Celsius versus 0 Celsius between the south of France and the northwest of Scotland here. That is what we've got on the table Thursday next week here. Again, it's a long way out, but you're starting to see the trend that, heat trying to lift north continues to get deflected, and any true surge of heat coming into the British Isles, that time frame always continues to get pushed back, if you notice here. So therefore, you ask the question, is it going to come or is it going to fail this year? That is the question. But you can see here, certainly off the latest GFS run, heat, certainly when you look at the mid-levels of the atmosphere, it is continuously getting deflected away from the British Isles here. But it certainly is going to be very hot across, especially mainland Europe. We've got a lot of heat to deal with here. But with low pressure to the north, that is certainly continuing to keep and suppress that heat. Now, that is talking about extreme heat. It doesn't necessarily mean that we can't get hot conditions for July, for the time of the year, into England and Wales. That is going to happen. We are going to see temperatures into the high 20s, low 30s, possibly the mid 30s. But looking at, the modelling indicating 40s in the UK, well, the modelling continuously is now starting to push back on that idea. But you can see here, let's have a look step by step at the temperatures here of the GFS. This is for England and Wales, by the way. And of course, we've reached pretty much 29 Celsius in London today. We'll see a couple of degrees off that during the course of Saturday, and then we start to see warmer conditions coming in on Sunday here, and the modelling is seeing that 28, 29 Celsius is back on the charts, as you can see here on Sunday afternoon. Notice here the core of the heat is to the east of the Pennines, and down the eastern side of England, if you will, less hot across the western portion of the British Isles here. We're seeing 22, 23, possibly 24 and 25 somewhere within west central portions of Ireland here, as well as possibly the northwest as well. So Sunday, warmest conditions east of the Pennines, East Midlands, so on and so forth. Then on Monday, it looks as if we're going to see 30s developing. Then as we push through next week, certainly the first half of the week, if not even through the middle and second half of the week, we're going to see 30s developing and becoming more widespread. So this is, of course, Tuesday at 12 o'clock. This is 1500 on Tuesday. Wow. Look at the amount of 30s here, stretching all the way from Leeds right down to the south of London here, as you can see. Even across interior parts of the southwest, you can see here 30 degrees developing here. So you can see plenty of heat now starting to show up in the charts here, and this is on Wednesday here. So look at the widespread coverage of 30s, while to the north and to the west it's not as warm, especially up across Scotland, Northern Ireland, 14, 15 degrees versus 30s. We've seen that, of course, in June. The difference, however, this time around is it's a little bit more persistent in terms of heat. And then as we push towards next weekend, the modelling indicates that we see a little bit of a retrieve, then it comes back, and it comes back gangbusters, if you will, because look at this here, by the time we reach the, I've actually skipped past it, unfortunately, but it was indicating 33, 34, 35 Celsius towards the end of next week and into the weekend here. So plenty of warmth, plenty of settled conditions, the further south you go over the British Isles, with the core of high pressure centred to the south of the UK, always opening the door to fresher conditions and disturbed weather over the top across Northern Ireland, across parts of the Republic of Ireland and Scotland, even the north of England, nowhere near as warm as the Midlands and south of the British Isles here. So, yeah, just watch this space. Keep it right here on the channel. Appreciate you watching. Please like, please share, and if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel. Hope you have a great rest of your Friday and have a great weekend ahead. I'll hopefully be back again tomorrow with more. Bye for now.